let's talk about our siding system. It follows a pretty typical modern rainscreen design. I think we've kind of made it our own in a few ways based on the specifics of this project. And so I'm going to sort of start from the interior. Remember, this is our interior space of the new addition, of the new room, and walk our way to the exterior siding. Imagine this is our interior timbers, our timber frame structure. The walls themselves are traditionally framed. We wanted to potentially play with offset framing, but we're a little bit limited. It's not a big room, so we wanted to be smart about using our space. And so we just have our standard 2x4 stud wall. And as we work our way out, our first step instead of a conventional plywood product is this linseed oil painted pine tongue and groove. Again, I like the stability of this. We painted it primarily for the build process so that it had some moisture and mold and mildew resistance if it was left exposed for a certain period of time, and that has worked really well. After our sheathing was fully installed, we needed to think about how we were going to do our flashing. Remember, we've got our new timber addition sitting on an existing masonry wall. And so we created our own copper flashing. And so this is nailed with copper nails to our pine sheathing, kind of way back here in the wall system, in order to accommodate our rainscreen. And we used copper simply because of its resilience, and if it, in certain areas it might have been visible. And because we sourced like 10-foot sheets and did all the work ourselves, it really wasn't an extreme expense for the effectiveness and the beauty of the material where it would be visible. So we had a break, and we'll have some great shots of that for you to see, and we also did our own soldering of certain seams. And so there's a full copper drip edge that runs along the entire exterior masonry wall, and it sits all the way back here nailed to our sheathing. Next up, we have our copper bug screen. We went with a flexible bug screen material because we had quite a bit of variation from side to side. There are some great rigid bug screen options out there, and the material quality sort of varies. I certainly didn't want to use a plastic-based material. We do get winters here, and I worry that it will start to break down and crumble over time. And we're using copper flashing. We used copper mesh for our bug screen. It's also nailed in at the same time as our flashing. After this, we are going to have some kind of house wrap. For modern building world, there's many different types of products here. There's wraps, there's sticky membranes, like self-adhesive products, there's spray-on options. Most of them are going to be polypropylene based, certainly a petrochemical derivative. So we really wanted to try to avoid that as much as possible. Initially, we were just going to go with a modern tar paper that is petroleum based but has a long history of use. But after kind of seeing how modern tar paper works in the real world, as many of you might know who have used it yourself, it is nothing to write home about. And since it has such toxicity levels, it burns very fast. It made sense to switch over to something we've been developing for some time and that we're really excited about. A little similar to our Earth+Flax linoleum, here is our Earth+Flax natural tar paper, and we're using a 100% recycled fiber paper, and we're impregnating it with natural pine tar. So this is 100% authentic pine tar. These are the naturally occurring resins found in pine stumps, the naturally occurring terpenes and so on that we often use for wood preservation. We are impregnating this substrate with it as much as possible. So saturating the material until it really can't take more. It's amazing how much it will soak up, and in the sun it will dry quite fast, and it still maintains some flexibility so that we can, you know, turn corners and so on. Really exciting to see where this could go. And as you can see, we've got our layer here, and we'll have a sort of a conventional modern requirement for overlap, and it's nailed in with stainless steel staples. And then from there we have our continuous 2-inch comfort board insulation, and you can see that it meets the roofing continuous insulation. Nice little continuous coat around the new addition. And from there we have our rain screen. This is a pretty massive rain screen. I mean, the convention can range from 1/4 inch to 1 inch. And I will say that each side, based on where our timber frame landed, it does have some depth variation. Our driveway side has the deepest rain screen, which pretty much is reflected here in our sample. And again, the more air, the better, essentially. We are just working to match our new addition and to have our timber siding match up well with our masonry wall here. Remember, use that imagination. We have our existing masonry wall that we're building upon, and we want those two materials to sort of blend seamlessly. So our siding will be attached and sort of run really nicely into the existing masonry wall. So our fasteners are the same that we use in our roofing system. These are from Rothoblaas. These are some custom or specialty screws. They're not custom. You can get them and source them online. I believe they're an Italian company. And you can see they have some little barbs here at the top, and that allows you to catch your furring strip as you screw in to hit your stud on the interior wall, and allow for easy adjustment so that you don't over compress your exterior comfort board insulation. You do, once they're in, they're hard to remove fully, so you do try to want to get that in correctly, but again, you can adjust really easily with something like this for a system like this. So our full rain screen is installed, and from there we are ready to start our siding install. So an important feature here that I want to point out is that we'll be wanting to leave a gap up here, and we will have bug screen at the top as well. This is just precautionary so things don't get back there and make their home. So we'll have a bug screen down here, we'll have bug screen up here, and then this nice air gap behind our siding, and we'll leave a nice gap here between our roofing sheathing and our cedar siding. This is to mimic our metal roof, so you can kind of see how the air can circulate throughout our siding system and throughout our roofing system. This is a good overview of our siding system, of our wall system. I hope it gets the wheels turning, and if you have any questions or input, we'd love to hear from you, so feel free to leave a comment below. And if you want to follow along with all our upcoming videos, please like and subscribe.